financial business in the city, and therefore we have an interest in the success of the city, because of course we have around about 40% of our turnover from the financial services sector. So therefore the interest of the firm is not just from the perspective of an advisor, but from the perspective as a business.
Financial services is very much part of our practice. We're very close to a number of our financial services clients, and this is a key event for them. It's a matter of considerable importance to how they run their businesses. So it's absolutely right that us as a leading law firm in financial services works with them on something like this.
Well, Brexit means that we can have an 11 billion tax cut, so everybody can be a lot better off, because that's the money we send to the EU, which is spent elsewhere. It means that we can have much more influence in the world, because we can get our own representation on the top tables. We can be a full member of the World Trade Organization, for example, whereas at the moment we have to do it indirectly through our share in the European Union.
But the key issue is Britain going to remain in the Union or not? It's quite possible to have variable geometry, that Britain would be involved in one part of the Union and not in another part of the Union. But the key is it going to remain in the Union? If it pulls out, there are massive implications for the UK.
An EU without the UK would probably be less liberal and more protectionist, and therefore might actually adopt rules that are even worse than the ones they have at the moment, which would be disadvantageous if we had to observe those rules. And there's a question that John Redwood had of whether you would have to observe those rules or not.
The truth is, there is no trade without politics. Rules have to be made. And if we leave the European Union, the biggest market in the world, we would have no regulation with any representation. We would lose influence.
And I'm told that we would lose influence. Well, on the contrary, we would gain influence, because the United Kingdom would then have a place at the world table. Instead of having to go cap in hand to Brussels to try and influence the position the EU takes on climate change or world trade or all the other big issues that come up for global decision, we would have our own direct place, as we used to do.
The best case scenario is that the UK takes some practical steps to reassure investors in the meantime that Brexit isn't the end of the world, with steps like continuing to cut corporation tax, which will cause people to get over some of the jitters that would accompany Britain leaving the EU. I think if it can do that while also striking new trade deals with major economic blocs outside the EU, then it can make up for any reductions in the potential to trade with the EU economies.
The euro fundamentally changed the EU. The EU is about the euro. Britain's not in it, and if you don't take that seriously, you haven't thought about this question properly.
The basic economic message that's coming out of the analysis is that there will be a cost to the UK economy of leaving the EU. So my assessment is that at least economically, it would make sense for Britain to stay in the EU.
I'm very happy to negotiate with our partners and see if we can reach accommodations with them. It would be churlish not to have a negotiation and see if we can have a new relationship with them. Because of course we need a new relationship anyway, because the euro is now the all-consuming feature of the European Union, and they wish to go to political union on the back of their euro union, which I understand. But the UK couldn't conceivably be part of either the euro or the political union, so now is probably a good time to try and sort it out and have a relationship with them based on trade, on friendship, and on being on the same bodies at world level as they're on.
We have a number of clients in the financial services sector, and therefore what affects them affects us. And so the ability to debate a range of opinions, to debate that with them, and to understand their perspective is really key.